Do you have a filthy UTV? Of course you do. That's what these vehicles are intended for. They're intended to be taken on the back roads, through the mud, through the snow, through rivers, through creeks. These vehicles get dirty. If your UTV is not filthy and dirty, you are using that thing the wrong way, okay? Now, do you want to be able to clean your UTV with ease? Absolutely. Look at how the water jumps off of the surfaces of this UTV. That is the graphene ceramic protection that was applied to this UTV. The hydrophobic properties from the graphene ceramic protection is what makes cleaning this UTV very, very easy and simple. Now in this video today, I'm gonna take you through prepping your UTV all the way to fully ceramic coating it. So when you go out and you enjoy your UTV like we did today, you can clean it with ease. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna thoroughly clean this UTV. And what the owner of this UTV requested is that we put some sort of protection agent on it. So in the future, when he takes it out on the trails and brings it back, cleaning this is much, much easier. But the first step to that is blasting it off with a pressure washer. We want to get as much dirt and grime off of this first and foremost before we move on to using chemicals to clean this and getting into protecting it. So first things first, we're going to blast this off with the pressure washer. Now, cleaning UTVs is a lot different than cleaning a car, washing a car. With cars, you have the glass surfaces, you have painted surfaces. With that, you can't just go ahead and blast a car down because you're gonna start getting water spotting and things like that, right? With the UTV being mainly plastic, I can just go ahead and blast this thing down, get as much of the dirt and grime off as possible, and then we can start addressing it with cleaning it with soap and things like that. But you know, with a UTV being designed to withstand water coming in, I can just go ahead and blast out all the interior, and I can use, you know, chemicals and things in this interior because they're vinyl seats. They're not leather seats. They're not cloth seats. Now I'm already thinking about protecting these. The next time I go to wash this, it's just gonna make life so much easier. It should take this long. It's just covered in dirt and grime and sediment everywhere. All right, so we're all done blasting this down. We did pull the seats out. It's a lot easier to clean on the inside, obviously, to pull the seats out, get all the sediment that's out. There's just sediment everywhere sitting. I'm actually gonna set these aside because I wanna address the UTV specifically first. What I wanna do first is I'm gonna take a tire scrub brush, but we're gonna use it on most of the vehicle. So tire scrub brush with our tire and rubber cleaner. What we're gonna do first, we're gonna start blasting down the tires and the wheels and all this undercarriage suspension components. And I'm just trying to get it on all the plastic and everything I see just to get a thorough cleaning first. So we'll do that, we'll scrub the tires. And then I'll do all this undercarriage stuff. All this, and actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch to the wheel brush. And I'll just keep this bucket of clean water with these brushes in it over here. These just have a little bit softer, floppier bristles. And these can clean the wheels And then they're gonna get into all these suspension parts a lot easier. So just going through and agitating, you know, there was some kind of grime left behind from the dirt that was on this. You can kind of see it on these parts, and it still is like a little brown. So using a cleaner and something to agitate that with is key. So that's why I'm using this brush. I'm just going through and getting as much stuff as I can. Just keep spraying this down, dunk this brush into the water, and hit all the plastic. I'm not necessarily gonna hit the painted surfaces or the vinyl surfaces, just because I don't want the brush to scratch that part of it. This is different than a soap using a tire and rubber cleaner or degreaser, so I want to blast off with the water before I move on. It's just a little bit different than working with the car soap, and sometimes tire and rubber can, if it dries all the way onto the plastic surface, it can leave a chalky kind of film on top, which is okay. It's not ruining the plastic. It's just, you know, once you go over it with ceramic spray coating or graphene ceramic spray coating, it will remove that and it will make the black look perfect again. But I just like to work in sections. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and blast this off. I'm just gonna keep moving through, working in sections. Let's keep going. Let's keep making this thing look new again. All right, so we just finished up going around the whole UTV with the tire and rubber cleaner and the wheel brush. But now what we want to do is address the painted and vinyl surfaces. And these are still pretty dirty, but what we want to do is we want to use car shampoo, which has a high lubricity, and that's going to help clean the painted and vinyl surfaces without scratching. So I have a little bit of water in this. I'm going to take our car shampoo. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit into the bucket, and then I'm going to take our standard 10-inch wash pad, and I'm going to put the car shampoo on that as well. So I maybe used that much car shampoo total, not even that. And now we just want to generate some suds with the pressure washer. So aim off to the side. All right, so what I'm actually going to do with this is I'll close these doors. And what I want to do is address the plexiglass and the painted and vinyl surfaces. So with the suds, high lubricity, we're going to go straight into it. And since I cleaned the plastic and everything, I'm not worried about getting the soap on there. If anything, it's just going to continue to clean it more. So just want to go around and really get these painted and vinyl surfaces. Now, the reason why we want to do the car shampoo is it has high lubricity. And what that does is it reduces the chance of scratching. If I just go ahead and use the brush on this, use whatever I want on this, and it's all dirty and nasty, it will put swirl marks in here. And then eventually you'll need to replace this because the visibility out of this is going to be really tough. The car shampoo with the wash pad is just going to make sure you're not introducing those swirl marks into that and keeping your vision clear and not impaired. So do the inside of the plexiglass. Plexi. One of the things that we always have in our wash buckets is we put these grit guards in here. what you do is after your wash pad gets saturated with dirt and grime, you put this at the bottom of the bucket and you scrub this against the grit guard. And what happens is it takes all the dirt and grime, sediment and things, it pushes it and pulls it to the bottom of the bucket. And then these fins here, they prevent the water from swirling and pushing the dirt up to the top of the bucket. So it keeps the dirt and grime at the bottom and your wash pad is always fresh. So I want to make sure you have the grit guard in there. I'm going to rub it against. Now we have a nice fresh wash pad. We can just continue on getting the paint and the vinyl. That was a lot easier than the tire and rubber cleaner part. There's just, less surface area of vinyl and painted surfaces. One thing I want to note before I get into rinsing this is what we're doing today is because this razor hasn't been washed before, we're doing an extreme thorough cleaning and it's a little bit of hard work, but really the reason why we want to put the hard work in is to be able to get to the point of protecting it. That's what's going to make cleaning it in the future a lot easier, right? So we want to protect this with the graphene ceramic spray coating. And then when we take it out on the trails and we come back, really you could blast it out with the pressure washer and you'd be fine. So this really is we're creating a foundation to be able to go protect the UTV. So in the future, the washing is a lot easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this off and then we'll get into drying it. But now what we want to do is go ahead and dry the vehicle before we start putting the protection on here. So we have this Air Cannon Junior, which is a forced air unit. It has an expandable hose and the forced air is heated. So it makes drying this vehicle so much easier. And then we have an Ultra Plus drying towel. This absorbs a ton of water and this is gonna blow it out of all the nooks and crannies. So we make sure when we go to put the ceramic protection on there, the water doesn't trickle out and screw up the ceramic protection. So ready? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn this on full blast. Now you can see, just using this forced air unit is gonna get a ton of the water off. It's gonna make life so much easier, You can fully dry the whole vehicle just with the forced air and the towel, so. I always recommend working from the top to the bottom, just because the water is gonna fall to the bottom and by the time you're getting ready to be done, it's a lot easier, so. On all the broad surfaces, I'm gonna use the towel. It just absorbs more of the water, not really pushing it around, but in all the cracks and crevices, like in here and here, in all these places I can't reach with the towel, that's where I wanna use the forced air unit. So get as much of this out. So, really the hard part of getting a thorough clean on this UTV is done. Now we want to add the protection. This is our graphene ceramic spray coating. This is the robust protection that's going to help protect the plastic, the paint, all the surfaces on this UTV. It will cause a hydrophobic layer on top of the surfaces of this UTV. And what's going to happen is when water hits it, it's going to bead up and fall off. You know what the water does? It takes the dirt with it. And you'll see it's gonna make the plastic a much richer, dark black plastic. It's gonna make this thing look like a whole new UTV. Mainly what I'm gonna do is be spraying the graphene ceramic spray coating into the applicator and then applying it to the surface. When it gets on the plexiglass or the painted or vinyl surfaces, it will start to rainbow like a ceramic coating does. And once it begins to rainbow, then you take a nice plush towel and we'll remove it. let's get right into it. So I'm gonna keep the plush towel nice and handy right here. All right, I'm gonna take the microfiber wrap and the graphene ceramic spray coating, and I'm gonna spray it directly into this applicator. 5 or 6 sprays. And we'll go straight into the plastic right here. Now check out how this changes the color. It's gonna give it a richer, darker black color. Oh man, that looks really good. This applicator can't necessarily reach into all these tiny cracks and crevices and the screws. What I can do is just take it and do a quick little mist into that area and then take the applicator and even it out. But that just ensures it's getting into all the cracks and crevices, not leaving any surface untouched with the ceramic protection. So another quick, I'll go straight into the paint here. And like I said, this is gonna rainbow onto these painted surfaces. On a glossy surface, it tends to rainbow. With plastic, it's gonna absorb the product in. If you need to, you can always just go over it lightly with the applicator and even it out, or you can come back with the plush towel. All right, so the graphene ceramic spray coating started to cure on this painted surface, and it started to rainbow. So I'm gonna take the plush towel and I'm gonna just remove it. You're just removing the top layer, top surface oils is what you're removing of the graphene ceramic spray coating. The reduced graphene oxide is gonna stay on the surface, and that's what's gonna protect this painted surface and the whole thing, really. But you wanna make sure, sometimes you can leave high spots on glossy surfaces and you don't want that. You wanna make sure you remove it as it starts to rainbow. So that's why I like to keep that plush towel handy. But now what I can do is just continue on with all the plastic. You can really see how this is changing the color of this. Okay, I wanna talk about something really quick, and that is applying this, okay? Traditionally on a car, you wanna spray this into the applicator, apply it like a wax or a sealant, and then you wanna wait for it to flash, remove it, right? With this UTV, you know, this isn't like a show-ready vehicle or a daily driver that you're you know, working with glossy surfaces on the whole thing. Most of this is plastic, so what I'm doing as I apply this is I'm not doing as much spraying into the applicator and applying it. I'm actually spraying this straight on to the UTV. And you can see, like in here, there's a ton of overspray. I was spraying it over here and it just overspray like something like that. And I'm not worried about it because once I spray this into the applicator and I go over this, it's gonna even it all out and make it look perfect. So, you know, this is one of those things you don't need to worry about the overspray from the ceramic because the plastic's gonna drink it in, it's gonna make it look nice, and all you need to do is just even it out with this applicator pad. So, you know, what I'd recommend with the application of this product is, you know, less spraying into the applicator, but more spraying it into the utility vehicle and evening it out. You know, really with this is about protecting it. It's not about making it show ready or making it, you know, presentable as a car. This is getting as much protection on here as possible and getting it into all the places that you don't want water and dirt sitting. So just go ahead and spray it in, even it out with the applicator. All right, so obviously we can do the plastic and the painted and vinyl surfaces, but the one game changer with the graphene ceramic spray coating is putting it on glass or plexiglass. You know, this thing is driving through big puddles, the water's coming up, it's hitting the plexiglass. You want hydrophobic where the water hits this and it disperses and goes away. This is the secret right here. This is the stuff. So spray it into the applicator and just put a nice even layer onto the plexiglass. And I mean, while you're up here, you might as well just hit every other section, but you want to get a nice layer of this on here. You could even just spray this on here and just even it out, you know? So we get this on here like so, nice even layer. I'm just trying to make sure I cover every piece of this plexiglass. Just like that, all right? And actually, to be honest, since you can open this up, kind of do this kind of 2 sections at a time. We'll spray some on here, and I can do the inside as well while I'm out here and just pull this off a little bit and get every nook and cranny. Actually, since I have this off, I might as well just hit this like so. I just want it in every piece. And since this even bar is exposed, I can hit this right here. I just want to even this out. It's getting a little cool outside, so it's going to take a little bit longer to cure, but once you see the rainbow effect, you can kind of see it on here actually. That's kind of when you want to wipe it off, and you can just keep reactivating it if you're still kind of going with it. So just reactivate it there, and then come on this side, get the inside of this. All right, so now I can see it flashing. It's all rainbow. The whole thing is rainbowing. So I take the plush towel and we remove it. It comes off super easy. So it's just wiping it off. I can already tell it's so much more slick than when I started this whole process. It's amazing. Tilt this forward and really, you could just remove this and do it by itself. I'm just keeping it on just to keep it nice and efficient. And there we go. I can't wait to see once we go through a puddle and see the water behavior on this windshield. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a lot easier to clean the next time we come back to clean the UTV. But you know, that really is the graphene ceramic spray coating. That's the easy button when it comes to protecting plexiglass. It makes it look nice and clear. It looks amazing. So make sure you're putting that graphene ceramic spray coating on the plexiglass to ensure that when you're driving, you have optimal clarity. So I've done essentially the whole UTV, but one last thing you want to address before you finish everything, you want to use this on the suspension components and the undercarriage area here. That is going to absolutely save cleaning time in the future when you have to go blast off all the mud and stuff that's caked on under there. So you just want to take this. What I like to do is just spray this straight into here, and you can even it out on the broad surfaces, but it's going to protect all of these metal components, the shocks, the springs, all the stuff. You just go ahead and spray it right in. So check this out, ready? Just spray it in. Nice hard pull of the sprayer. It atomizes the product and it gets into all the cracks and crevices of this. So, and it makes it look freaking amazing. Oh man, this is great. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. And since you have somewhat of an exposed barrel of the wheel, you can go ahead and spray this in there too. That's gonna make cleaning these wheels a lot easier too. You know, we took this from a UTV that has never been washed, had mud and dirt caked all over it, to now restoring the color of the plastic, getting the paint, the vinyl nice and glossy again. But really it's not about the look, it's about the protection we've put on this. I know now once we take it on the trails next time and we bring it back to clean it, washing this UTV is gonna be substantially easier. Really, you know, the hard work of this process was doing the thorough cleaning. You wanna make sure and get all that dirt and grime off before you put this protection in. Make sure if you have any questions about cleaning this, any additional questions from this video, contact Adams Polishes at 866-965-0400, or you can email us at tips@adamspolishes.com. But you know, really, I'm excited to have this protected now, and we can take it up into the hills and take it up on the trails and just enjoy this thing and know that the next time we come back to wash it, simplicity. It's gonna be so much easier. Thanks for watching.